Hi, today I'm going to do a day to night look. So I'm going to start off with quite a simple day look and then just build on it for evening because I'm actually going out myself tonight. So I thought I'd do a sort of two-stage makeup. I'm going to start by using Vitalumiere Aqua in number 20. You need to give this a really good shake because it's very, very liquidy, almost watery sort of foundation. And this is one that gives a really nice natural finish, but it's not like the other Vitalumiere, which is very, very dewy. The finish is a little more, I wouldn't say it's matte, but it's kind of velvety, sort of semi-matte, but it also still has a sort of little bit of sheen to it. So I find it really good for my skin in the winter, which is definitely not dry. It's still kind of combination, but because it gets a little bit dehydrated, it feels a bit drier. So this sort of gives it the best of all worlds, really. Because it's really thin, you can put a layer all over and then just go back in to the areas where maybe you need a little bit more coverage. It's not going to cover blemishes particularly. I've got quite a few at the moment. I have to go back in with concealer. It's going to even out the skin enough to give a really good base. So before I do my actual concealing, I'm going to use this cream product by Aerin. This is called Sweet Pea, and this is for lips and cheeks. I'm going to start by using it on my cheeks. So I'll come back in and do a little bit of concealing later on. So I'm just going to apply that kind of naturally, so where you would have colour in your face anyway. And then just blend from the kind of fat bit out. And just make sure that's really well blended. Lots of light strokes. Most of these types of products anyway, these sort of lip and cheek creams, are so fine and so transparent that you can't really go all that wrong with them. And of course you can always go back and add a little bit more. So just a mixture of sort of light flicking strokes to smoothen all the edges. You could use a brush actually if you wanted to, and pat as well. So now I need to conceal and do a little bit of light reflection. So starting with concealing, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier SC3. This is almost empty, this is my own one. And as you can see, I've got a spot on my lip, which is, I get them from time to time, they're annoying. But you can cover them. You just need a nice opaque concealer, something that really genuinely covers, that you don't need to use much of. And then you can just sort of dot onto the spot. And then kind of almost dot it around the edges as well, because you don't want to see where it's suddenly very heavy, the coverage. And then just blend a little bit. You can use a brush as well if you want to blend those edges in. If you just take your time to sort of almost diffuse the edges, then you don't see the concealing. Same here, I've got one. Luckily it's not right in the middle of the blusher, otherwise I'd have to add a bit of blusher to the colour. But it's on the edge there, so we can just, again, feather those edges and go back in. You can always add more to the centre where the actual mark or the spot is. Actually that one's a bit more of a pigmentation now where a spot used to be. And I've got two of those on this side. So that's the pinpoint concealing done, or the photoshopping as I like to call it. Now I'm going to use some highlighting concealer, and this is the Airbrush concealer by Clinique. I'm going to pop some of that just into any shadowy areas. So for me it would be kind of here, a little bit around here, around the side of my mouth, and probably sort of there and there would be the biggest areas, I think. And just a little bit of pat that in with fingers or a brush, whatever. Just lifts the area. It's like a miracle. Sort of a little bit of concealing and a little bit of highlighting. I like this particular one because it's not too highlightery. Some of them, they really bounce back and they really look kind of almost greyish sometimes on the skin, but this Clinique one, I think they do good colours for different skin types, skin tones rather, and it's For me, it's the right balance of concealing and highlighting. Next, I'm going to use the Creaseless Cream Eyeshadow by Benefit, and this is Skinny Jeans, and I love this colour. These are so easy to use. I'm going to pat that onto all over my eyelid. This is a really great colour. They do lots of really nice neutral colours, actually for daytime, like Flatter Me, RSVP, Birthday Suit, and they're all kind of like variations of sort of peachy colours and sort of fleshy tones, and then these darker ones as well, so you can kind of find a good daytime colour for just about any skin tone. So I'm just going to go up to about the socket line. And because these set, they're quite a good primer as well. You get plenty of time though to sort of play around with them. And before that sets, I'm going to use a MAC 217 brush and one of the brown shades here from this Bourjois Smoky palette. And these are the browns. I'm going to use the darkest brown. And I'm going to just pat that into the socket line and just at the outer corner, so you can see it sort of just defines a little bit on top. And take off that on the back of my hand and then blend that in. Then I'm going to use the lighter brown from the Smoky palette just underneath. Glitter during the day, yeah. Why? Because these glittery eyeshadows you can get now are so fine. And I'm just going to add that onto my eyelid. Just like that, which is going to be framed obviously by my lashes when they're done. I think they actually look really, really pretty. So I'm going to curl my eyelashes next using my eyelash curlers. My eyelashes are bone straight, so this for me is an essential thing to do, otherwise I look half asleep. For my lashes, I'm going to use some Helena Rubinstein Lash Queen, and this is the Feather collection. They don't sell this in the UK anymore. I stopped selling it about 5 years ago, but I was in Hong Kong working last week, so I stocked up on it because it's a really nice mascara. I'm not going to apply too much since this is kind of my day look. I'm only going to need a couple of strokes really. In terms of the shade of glitter that you choose, I think silver looks amazing on dark eyes because, you know, really dark brown eyes and brown eyes, because it's obviously such an amazing contrast. So to finish off, I'm going to go back in with my multi-purpose lip to cheek product, and my lips are so dry this week. So this is going to feel really nice. This is a lovely colour. It's Aerin one, it's called Sweet Pea. I also need to do a touch of powder. For me that would be mainly here, my nose, the sides of my nose and my chin. So that's my finished glittery day look, and I think glitter can work during the day if you apply it quite sparingly and choose one of this new generation type of glitter eyeshadow. And you can tell because the new ones, it's almost like the larger glitter particles are sort of floating in a very transparent base. So when you put them on, they're almost sheer. You don't get a lot of colour off of them. You just see the actual glitter. And for that reason, they work on top of any colour. You can add them on top of any kind of eyeshadow. Or you could even just put them onto your little touch on clean, onto clean lids. So I think it's a really pretty look. So now I'm going to take this look into an evening look. So I'm going to take off the lipstick, or the lip stain, and just give that a blot. For my lips, I'm going to try this product. I haven't used it before, but it's MUA and it's called Lip Boom. And one side is a lipstick. They have all different shades. This one's very dark, and the other side is a glittery lip gloss. So, as I say, I haven't tried it before, and I've chosen the really dark purpley lipstick with the light pink glitter to go on the top. I'm going to apply this with a brush. It smells like caramel. I'm just going to give that another blot. And then put another layer on, but this time giving myself a bit more of a lip line. It's correcting the shape a bit more. This is a fantastic colour. This product is really, really inexpensive. They've got some really nice colours. And the quality, I have to say, the lipstick doesn't feel drying. It feels really nice. I'm going to try now the gloss. Oh, this smells again. It smells a bit like Laura Mercier's vanilla caramel bath. So I'm mainly just going to put it in the centre. And then spread it. So back to the eyes, and because this is very much an evening party look now, I'm just going to slightly ramp up my glitter. And these sheer glitters go on so much better with fingers than they do with brushes, because you need to, they're quite sticky. You need to pack them on. You could use a sponge applicator if you wanted, but I wouldn't brush them on. They just look better when they're kind of pushed on like that. And because I only used a tiny amount of mascara before, I'm going to go back in with my same mascara and add some more drama. So I'm putting plenty of mascara on tops and bottoms. So I'm nice and evening-ified now. I'm going to just do one final touch back in with the silver glitter that I've used here for day and night. And I'm going to put a little bit just on the inner corner there. Only a fraction. I want to keep it very chic. And when you're using glitter, you don't want it absolutely everywhere unless it's quite subtle, which it will be here. While we're on the subject of glitter, I must tell you one of my favourite stories in makeup history, and that's how glitter was invented, because often you ask people and they think it must be sort of in a theatre in the 1920s or something, but it wasn't. It was invented by accident on a farm in New Jersey in 1934 by a gentleman called Henry Rauschman, who was working on his parents' farm, and he was dabbling as sort of a hobby, as a machinist, and it was kind of a hobby of his. And it was during one of these sessions that he developed or discovered a way of cutting tiny fragments of coloured plastic and developing this stuff that he thought, wow, this is interesting. He didn't know what it was, but he knew that it was really different and really exciting. So they started mass producing this stuff that we now know as glitter on his parents' farm and set up a company called Meadowbrook Inventions. And obviously it just took off around the world, you know, not just in theatres and in makeup, but in things like car paint, and, you know, glitter's used an awful lot. And the other thing that I love as well is that Meadowbrook Inventions are still based, it's still on the same site of his parents' farm in New Jersey, and they make, you know, to this day they're making glitter for the whole world. Their motto actually is "Our glitter covers the world," which I just think is such a lovely story. So yeah, we've got Henry to thank for our glittery makeup, and so thank you, Henry. So that's the finished look, and I think the jump from the day look to the evening look, although it's very dramatically different, it didn't take very long, just adding a little bit more of the glitter, and because it's that very fine glitter, you can add quite a bit more and it still looks very sophisticated. Lots more of the mascara, the same mascara, and then just this lip product on top, which I'm really thrilled with this actually. It's very inexpensive and I think it's super effective. So although the look's very, very glittery, I think it's still very chic, and I'm really happy with it. So I hope you like it.